Hello, today we are going to make a shaker card for a 60th birthday, and we're going to use the 3D forming module on the xtool wonderpress to create our shaker bubble. So I'm starting in design space and I'm going to find an image. It's for a 60th birthday, so I'm going to look for an image. I've already found one, but I don't. There is. I don't know if I saved it or not. So this is the image I'm going to use. Now first, this is all one image, so I need to do a bit of editing of it to get me what I want. So I will need this 60 to be separate. How did I do this? How do I do this? I forgot what I'm doing. Yes, I'm going to contour it. That was what I was going to do. So hold on. I'm going to do this so that I have two of them. I'm going to come in, I'm going to contour, and I'm going to contour this, 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 and this out, and apply it. So now I've just got this part left, the and fabulous. Okay, we're not playing ball today. And then we're going to contour this one, and I'm going to hide all contours. I'm going to contour this, and I want to get rid of that bit, so I just want the 60. So now this is in two parts, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to group them together for now. Then I'm going to go in and I'm going to create my card base. I'm working in inches today just because it was easier, and I'm going to change it to white to start with so I can see what I'm doing. I'm going to go into size, and I want a 6x6 card, so I'm doing 12, unlock the ratio by 6, and then I'm going to grab another shape, and I want this to be 6 inches tall, and then I want this. I'm going to highlight both. I'm going to line to the top and then centre horizontally, and then I'm going to attach these two together. Why did they do that? Something weird's going on with design space today. And then I want to attach them, see? Something weird. Oh, it's because I had the 60 behind it. Okay, now I'm going to bring in another shape. I'm going to have curved edges this time. I'm going to change this colour to pink, and I want it to be 5x5. Okay, now we're going to bring this to the front, and we're going to size this so it fits nicely, and group, and we're going to align centre. Okay, so we have our size. Now in this group I just want the 60, and I am going to, sorry, I've got an itch, go into effects, and I'm going to offset it. Now that's a little bit too big. Bring it down a touch. Maybe a tad more. It needs to stay joined. That'll do, and we're going to apply. Now I'm going to ungroup this now. This group I'm going to ungroup. I'm going to move the 60, and I'm going to move the And Fabulous down a bit. Then I want the offset and I want my square background, and I'm going to slice them. I'm going to take away the extras. I don't need those, so they can be deleted. I'm going to bring this back to the front. And I'm going to, oh, hold on. Sorry, I had an itch. I'm going to contour this, and I want to lose those. Apply. So I've just got the outline. Now I'm going to press the wrong button. I'm going to copy this And Fabulous and just leave this copy over here. And then this one, because of all these little bits and I need it to be in the right place, I'm going to actually change this to a score. And then I'm going to select my background and I'm going to attach that score to that. So that gives me a guideline of where all these little bits go, so I get them in the right place. Now this, I am actually now going to change to a print and cut, and I'll show you why now. So I'm going to go over to make now. I'm not going to save it at the minute. And then I'm going to go continue. And I'm going to send to printer. Next. Wait for it to load up printers. Design Space is going really slow today. As you can see. There we go. And I'm going to print to PDF. So off the bleed. I'm going to print. So this will be kept as a file on my desktop. I'm going to save that. I'm just going to put done. Then we're not going to do anything now with this. We're going to go over to the xtool software and continue from there. Okay, now we're over in Design Space. Not Design Space, we're over in xtool Studio. And we want to create our cutout for... we need to create something to vacuum seal around, and I want to use the 60 from that card. Hence the reason I made it in Design Space, so that I could keep everything else the same. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to crop this, because obviously it's come through at the exact size. And I'm just going to crop out the registration marks. Whatever you do, do not change the size of your number 60 or whatever shape, whatever you're using, because it won't work. You will end up without this fitting in the cutout we've made over on Design Space. Now this would just engrave because it is a PNG file. We're going to trace it, and I'm just doing the auto trace. I don't need to change anything, it's traced fine, so we're going to save that. And this is the only bit we want. We don't need this. I'm just going to take this off of the canvas. This is what we want. It's the correct size. And we are going to go into material settings. And I want the basewood plywood. And we're going to apply that. We're going to set it to cut. So our speed and everything is there. And then I'm going to use 3mm plywood, and I want it to be at least 6, but I'm going to cut 3 of them just in case. And I'm just going to make sure everything is set to cut. Yeah. So everything is set to cut. Yes, we're not doing this, so we can turn off the output on this because we're not engraving that. And then we are going to send this to process. I haven't done my distance measurements and so forth. I'll do that now. You don't need to. You've seen me do that a million times. You don't need to see me do that again. You're going to send this to cut, and then we're going to stack them up and stick them together and let them dry. Okay, first thing, we're going to switch out the heat press. And we are going to add the vacuum forming module. I'm going to turn on the heat press. And we are going to set it to 0.5 PMMA. And we're going to grab our bits that we are going to put in here. So we have our 60 that we previously, hold on one second. Okay, we are going to put in our 60 that we made earlier. And then these 2 bits came with the press. I'm sure I can use them for something. These have protective cover on them. And we are going to pop them in there. And I'll tell you what else I need is there's a little tool to get this out again so we don't burn ourselves. Lift up the sides. Now this is the first time I've used this, so at this point we're just going to hope it all goes well. Have I got that in upside down? I did read the instructions, I promise. Apparently not very well, but I did read them. And that goes that way. Yes, and then we're going to lift this up. We're also going to need this tool and your gloves. Okay, so now we've reached temperature. We're going to hold this down for 10 seconds. And then it's going to vacuum seal for another 50 seconds. So in all it takes 60 seconds. Okay, now that's finished. Just move you back a little bit. We're going to slide out. We're going to pop up that and break the vacuum seal. Pop our heat-proof gloves on. And then we use this little tool to get it out. Because remember, this is still hot. Move that out of the way so you can see. Take this up. I can take the glove off now. And then we're going to pop out. Let it cool a little bit. Pop out our vacuum sealed pieces. Okay, we're going to put our card together now. Let's start with filling this up with our shaker bits. So I've added red line tape to attach it. Now the fun part of getting it off. Getting the backing off. I can never get the backing off. That's that bit. I'm just taking off the backing. I'll move you back a bit. Be able to see what I'm doing. It's one sort of technique to get this off easier. I'm sure there is one that people aren't telling me about. Let's move you back up here. There we go. And then I have these foil, this foil confetti. I don't want to put too much in, but a good amount. I forgot my little spoon. And of course I'm getting it stuck to the tape. I usually wouldn't, if I was using just foam, I wouldn't take the backing off, but I knew I was never going to get the red line tape off without spilling all this everywhere. I do want this quite full. I don't want it to shake too much, if that makes sense. I want you to be able to see you can shake it, but I'm not. Make sure it's all in. Not all stuck to the tape. press all in. And then I've got my bit that I've just marked the top because it's an irregular shape, because I cut this by hand, which I don't recommend. I'm going to pop it over and push down. Use the end of my tweezers to make sure it's all... You won't see any of this anyway, but make sure that is all pushed down. And it goes from side to side. So it's so cool. I can make my own personalised ones now. Now I'm going to do this part, and I've left all of this attached to my Cricut mat just because there's little bits and I don't want to lose them. And you can see, I think you can see, yeah, where I scored, where this needs to go, so that I could line it all up properly. I'll grab some tweezers. And pop some glue on. I really need to refill my glue press because it's so much easier. But sometimes when I'm just doing these little bits, I find it just a little bit easier to use straight from the bottle. But I do love my glue press. Okay, now it's just a matter of lining this up with score marks. I will go in once this is dry with my glue eraser. Draw that down, let that set in place. Of course, we'll have a bit that moves. There we go. And now this part. Once again, just pop a little bit of glue. I put too much glue all the time. That's why it always leaks. But I like to make sure things are stuck. So that's on. Now I'm going to do these little bits, which is going to be a nightmare, I think. So I might actually just pop my glue directly on the card. I think that may be the easier way to do it. Oh. And this bit is so tiny. I might have needed a gem picker for this bit. In fact, I think I'm going to get one quickly. Okay, I've got my gem picker. This one is from Silhouette. I love it. I've had it years now. I think that's going to be the easiest way to do it. This gem. Use the gem picker to pick up the bits. these tiny bits. Because I did wonder while I was doing this, I'm so glad I did the scorings. I thought, I'm never going to line these up again. I'm never going to get this in the right place. That's that done. I'm just going to quickly turn it over and push down to make sure everything's really adhered. Yeah, that's the word. Now I'm actually going to put my shaker in. Now I'm unsure whether I should be using this glue or not for this, but I am now, so it works on acetate, so you'll see, not too close to the edge like I've just done. Then we're going to flip this over and place it over the top. Give it a little wiggle so we can get it exactly where we want it. Around to grab some of that glue. And I've got to try and get a little bit of glue under this tip because I haven't got any under there. My light's terrible today. Turn this around. There we go. Probably should have a bit more shaker bits in there, but too late now. She's stuck. So that's nicely stuck. Now I'm just going to put some foam tape on the back. Just this thin one from Altenew. Not going crazy. I just want to lift it up a tiny bit. And I also find that foam tape helps keep everything straight. And do 4 strips. Obviously not too close to the edges. Turn it over, burnish that down. Let's move you up a little bit. And then we've got our card base. Now my card is 6x6, so obviously if you're cutting this on a Cricut you would need the 12x24 mat and some A3 paper I used. Worked fine. And we're going to peel off the foam tape. I'm going to flip it over and try and get this as straight as possible. I'm not very good at getting that straight. There we go. Made my own custom shaker bubble. I'm going to definitely do this again. Get the words right in a minute. Made my own shaker bubble for this fabulous card for a fabulous soon-to-be 60-year-old. Anyway, be back soon with more shaker. I think I'm going to do a shaker cake topper next. I have some forms that you saw me press. I think I'm going to use those, the flower ones. And I'm going to see what else I can think of to make for my shaker bubbles. See you all.